On February 15, 2026, Sam Altman posted a single update that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley. OpenAI had just hired a new genius to build the next generation of personal AI agents. His name is Peter Steinberger, the creator of the viral sensation OpenClaw. But here is the mystery. Just months ago, he was retired, so burnt out from a previous €100 million success that he couldn't write a single line of code. He had reached the summit only to find it completely empty. How does someone go from creative bankruptcy to the architect of the AI revolution? To find out, we look at the frictions that built him. Today, we're asking, how did a visa delay launch a software empire? Why did winning the game drain his soul? And how did a weekend project become a tool that giants like Google and Meta are fighting to control? This is how he did it. Just a quick reminder, if you appreciate this in-depth content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more. Now, back to the video. Our story begins far from the tech hubs, in the quiet rural landscapes of Austria. In the mid-90s, a 14-year-old Peter meets a summer guest who has something magical, a personal computer. It was a lightning bolt moment. By 2004, he was at the Vienna University of Technology, the top-ranked institution for computer science in Austria. He wasn't just a student here, he was an outlier. 8 years later, he was actually teaching the curriculum, launching the very first Mac and iOS developer courses the institution had ever seen. He was molding the next generation of engineers before most people even owned a smartphone. He was a big fish in a small pond, but he knew the real ocean was 3,000 miles away in San Francisco. He had the talent, he had the drive, but he was about to hit a wall that no amount of logic could solve: the U.S. immigration system. In 2011, Peter accepted a job as a senior iOS engineer in San Francisco. He packed his life, but the U.S. government wasn't ready. He was trapped in a grueling, 6-month bureaucratic limbo, waiting for a work visa. Most people would have spent those months complaining or watching TV, but Peter was restless. He noticed a massive flaw in the newly released iPad. Rendering PDFs was slow, clunky, and broken. I just wanted to build the tool I wished existed, he'd later reflect. Because he couldn't legally work for a U.S. employer yet, he spent those 6 months bootstrapping his own solution. This forced pause gave birth to PDFKit. The visa delay didn't stall his career. It turned him into a founder. When he finally touched down in the U.S. in 2011, the side project transformed into a relentless mission. But he didn't take the easy path of venture capital. Instead, he and his co-founder, Martin Schurer, chose the grueling route of bootstrapping, building the business entirely out of their own pockets. For the next decade, he didn't just lead the company, he lived in the code. He was the architect, obsessing over how to make massive PDF files load instantly on a mobile battery. He became a pillar of the community, releasing open-source libraries like Aspects in 2013 and standing on global stages like the Craft Conference in 2017 to teach thousands of developers how to build software that actually lasts. There is a hidden danger in reaching the mountaintop, only to realize there's no air left to breathe. By 2021, the hustle had paid off. His team had grown to 50 elite engineers, and his framework was the invisible engine inside nearly 1 billion devices. Then came the life-changing event. Insight Partners moved in with a €100 million strategic investment. On paper, he had won. He stepped down as CEO, cashed the check, and prepared for a victory lap. But the 13 years of board meetings, customer demands, and crushing pressure had exacted a heavy toll. The American dream had come at the cost of his creative soul. He was a world-class engineer who suddenly found himself staring at a screen, unable to write a single line of code. "I felt like Austin Powers, where they sucked the mojo out," he said in a recent interview. "I couldn't get code out anymore. I was just like staring and feeling empty." Desperate to reset, he booked a one-way ticket to Madrid to disappear. He tried everything: travel, parties, therapy, but the void remained. He had all the money in the world, but the spark that started in rural Austria at 14 years old was gone. That silence, however, was about to be shattered by the most chaotic technological shift in human history. It's April 2025. While resting in Spain, he discovered a paradigm shift that would change everything: vibe coding. It was a new way of building where AI handles the repetitive, soul-crushing plumbing of software, leaving the developer to focus purely on the vision. The spark that had been missing since the exit suddenly roared back to life. He wasn't just a manager anymore, he was a creator again. By November 2025, he grew frustrated that a truly autonomous personal assistant didn't exist. So over a single weekend, he decided to mess around with a prototype. What started as a weekend experiment, first named Claudebot, then Moltbot, and finally OpenClaw, became a digital wildfire. It was designed to be a digital employee that could automate your life through a simple text on WhatsApp. But the world was waiting for exactly this. By early 2026, OpenClaw had amassed over 200,000 stars on GitHub and attracted millions of users. He built a viral sensation in a weekend because he was finally building for himself again. Are you working on a passion project that feels more real than your 9-to-5? Drop a comment and tell us what it is. Suddenly, the old pressure returned. The server costs, the security threats, the sheer exhaustion of a viral success. But this time, he didn't run. He didn't hide in Madrid. He stayed in the arena, catching the attention of every major titan in the industry. The momentum reached a boiling point on February 15, 2026. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, announced that the creator of OpenClaw was officially joining the company to drive the next generation of personal agents. Altman called him a genius with ideas that would quickly become core to OpenAI's future products. He had come full circle, from a solo coder trapped by a visa to a global innovator defining the future of human-AI interaction. Peter's journey teaches us something vital about the American dream. It isn't a straight line. It's a series of closed doors that force you to forge your own keys. From a visa delay in 2011 to a total burnout in 2021. The friction wasn't the obstacle, it was the catalyst. The story you've just seen is a powerful answer to the question, what drives someone to leave everything behind and reshape the world with their vision? This series, proudly presented by the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, celebrates the courage, innovation, and determination of immigrants who transform history. Subscribe and join us as we continue to honor the enduring impact of immigrant ambition.